So today we parked in Rock Quarry car park for £5.50 for up to 12 hours. So we should do this. It's a 2.5 mile walk up to Polzeath. We might walk there and back, or we might walk there and catch the bus back. Toilets at Rock Quarry car park are free, and then we're going up this little footpath here by the side of the toilets. This leads on to the southwest coast path. So there's the back of the toilets there, some of the car park. Going up behind the toilets. So if you're walking around the southwest coast path and you come down to Rock and you want to get across to Padstow, this is where you go. You come down the path here, down these little steps, and you can just about see the ferry in the distance. And then you'd catch the ferry over to Padstow. We're not doing that though, we are walking from Rock up to Polzeath. The time is 9:59 and at 10 o'clock it is due to rain, so we have got our waterproofs on, but it's only due to rain for a little bit, so we might be alright, and it's only a short walk anyway. It's really nice in Rock, really nice on the beach here. I think it's lovely, another place where you can bring a family, and it's just a few days before November and people are still on the beach, albeit dressed up warm, but still making little sand castles and things. It's lovely. There's the ferry just going over to the Padstow side. I suppose you could walk down this way as well and then across the beach. You wouldn't have to go down those little wooden steps. It's a good view of the Doom Bar, all the sand. The ferry didn't seem to take very long going across, but if there's a high tide, it probably takes longer. I sustained an injury the day before yesterday walking from, well, the halfway point from St Enodocs to Port Isaac, and the halfway point we went up to Jacket Point North. And when I turned back to go to Port Isaac, about a third of the way, I slipped on some mud, and it would have been great had my feet just shot out in front of me and I'd landed on my bum, but that wasn't the case. My left foot got caught on a stone, which made my knee go up, and I hurt my ankle, my calves, my knee, my hip, and then my knee pushed my bum bag into my ribs. So I hurt my ribs as well, and then I had to walk back about 4 miles hobbling. Not the best. But I spent a day in bed yesterday recovering, and that was very hard, to be honest. I'm not one to stay at home. So today we're doing a short walk from Rock to Polzeath, and so today I am the hobbling vegan, and I do videos on walking, bracket, hobbling, end of bracket, and vegan, because I believe in keeping healthy, and I am taking it steady on myself so that I don't create any more injuries. We think this might be the way to St Enodocs Church through the golf course here. We've got to stay to the white stones. We thought we'd give this a little squidge as well, because we've been to St Pirans, which was absolutely covered in sand and is quite deteriorated, although the sort of main structure is still there. Just thought it'd be interesting to compare, because St Enodocs was covered in sand as well at one point, and now it isn't. So it'd be a good comparison for St Pirans. We think we're on the right side to go and see St Enodocs Church. It's very pretty here at the golf course. I can just see it poking up behind some trees over there. It looks like it's going to be really interesting. Looks like we're actually coming into the entrance now, so this is really, really nice. I know, that is a cute spire. Oh, how beautiful. They must have it done up for a wedding. This interesting little church, a chapelry of St Miniver, is celebrated as having been for several generations almost entirely overwhelmed by sand. It was restored in 1863, according to a sign in the church in St Enodocs Church. It was called St Enodocs, like most other saints whose names are attached to churches along this coast. Was Welsh. The saints of Cornwall, who were venerated by the church, were not canonised and were not so much reverenced by law or order as by custom. Apparently his name was only revived in anything like its integrity in the late 19th century, for it was in neighbouring villages, until then known as Sinkinny Church, apparently an allusion to its sinking in the sands. Early in the 18th century, the adjoining commons were nothing more than shifting towns, and the little church was so buried in the accumulated sands that for the purpose of securing its privileges, service was performed in it once a year only, the clergyman being admitted through a skylight made for that special occasion. In Norman days, the church was cruciform, with the tower on the north. The shape can still readily be traced in all the walls, excepting where interfered with by the south aisle and porch, which were added in the 15th century. The brooch spire, which is slightly out of the perpendicular, is a 13th century addition, and the doorway under the porch dates from the 14th century. John Betjeman is buried here somewhere. I'm not going to look at all the gravestones to work out which one is his. There is quite a funny little story that when this church was covered in sand, the vicar and his parishioners made a hole in the roof to gain access to the church so they could hold a service, because apparently you have to hold a service once every year to keep a church sanctified. I have to think of this covered in sand, and I love to see them sort of looking around to see where the roof is and digging a hole in the roof in order to gain access. It must have been really weird to have gone into a really dark church with sand all over the windows and the doors to carry out a service. Must have been really unusual. Well, that was a lovely little aside to the Southwest Coast Path. It's really worth diverting to go and look at St Enodocs Church. It really is lovely. It's just so cute. It's just, yeah, the history and everything involved. It's just amazing. So we're back on the Southwest Coast Path now after our little diversion to St Enodocs Church. Here we are at Daymer Bay. Paul found a lovely little bridge. You can jump across that river there, or you can walk up round through these bushes and find this wonderful bridge, which is much better in my hobbly state. Mid-morning break, homemade fruitcake. We've still got some left and some water in a reusable container. Yum yum. Just paid 40p to go in the toilets at Daymer Bay, and the toilets are overflowing. It's minging. So, carrying on the coast path after the debacle of the toilets at Daymer Bay, but it is a lovely spot. I mean, look at that. We have spied a nice picnic spot, unless somebody else gets there before us. It looks as though Paul has secured the picnic bench. What a spot, hey? What a spot to have our lunch and overlook the sea. There's Daymer Bay down there, and then around here is Polzeath. What a fantastic picnic spot. You secured the picnic bench then?
Oh yeah.
Well done you. For lunch today I have got beetroot and applewood vegan cheese sandwiches in shop bought bread, and we've got this amazing view. Amazing view. One of the best picnic spots along the Southwest Coast Path, I would say. A nice comfortable seat with a lovely view. Very nice. Right, let's get back to it then. Just round the corner to get to Polzeath. So now we're coming down into Polzeath. back to the bus stop at Polzeath at 1 o'clock, and the next bus is at 2:30, so we're going to go off for a cup of tea somewhere and make sure we get back in plenty of time to catch the bus at 2:30. What have we got in the bag? Sour cherry something or other, and a peanut butter slice, and 2 cups of tea with soya milk. So the bus didn't turn up and we've decided to walk back, but just look at these waves. We only just made our way through here. We had to wade through sea up to my knees. My feet are soaking. We had to run through some of it, which was interesting with a gammy knee. But we only just got through. What a day! No bus, trying to get back to the car park, and then nearly being cut off altogether. Now back to the car. Looks quite different with the sea in. You can hardly see the Doom Bar at all. That is a longer ferry trip across.